Hey, what's going on? This is Dan Emery, and in this video, we're going to talk about the different types of prayer, getting into the right state, the body and mind state needed to perform in this prayer, and then also listening to the message received from God. So, this is the different types of prayer. Let me make this a little bit larger here. So we have the different types of prayer, and you got confession. So basically, when you're starting this morning routine, you're waking up early in the morning, and you're setting the intention for the day. And you do that through prayer, and you do that, I believe, through working out and praying and meditating basically at the same time. And when you do this workout, you're electrically charging your body, and you're really just, I believe that we're electric, beings, and we're spiritual beings, but we're energy beings. And so when you're electrically charging your body, you're basically becoming an antenna, and so you're able to receive messages from God more clearly. This is something that I believe that the church, across many religions, they're not talking about this. But this is where I've had the most profound um, realizations. Is like my body has to be in motion. I have to literally start sweating and pouring out. And so there's getting into the right state and setting intention. So this whole section right here, types of prayer, is really just setting the intention, because oftentimes we say, or people just say pray, but what kind of prayer are you doing? What are the different types of prayer that are going to be the most beneficial? Because when you just say pray, oftentimes it's, it could be a confession or supplication, or maybe an intercession, but it's just like, but you don't necessarily know the definition of those things. So this is what this is about, is getting into the definition of those. So prayer, I'll read this real quick. Prayer is an important aspect of our spiritual journey. It involves setting our intentions and being clear about what we are asking God for. It is a powerful way to connect with the divine and seek guidance and support in our lives. And I'm emphasizing the importance of prioritizing God in our lives. And he reminds us that when we put God as our number one priority, we align ourselves with divine wisdom and protection. So this is why we're doing this, is because we want to align ourselves with God, right? The Creator. And so here's the 5 different types of prayer. You have one, confession. It's a type of prayer where we acknowledge and repent for our mistakes and seek forgiveness. This is for the things that you have: shame, guilt, anger, regret. And when you have those feelings, oftentimes it's something that you're holding on to, or that you did. You maybe you hurt somebody in the past, not necessarily physically, but maybe like you said something rude or whatever, and so you're hanging on to these things, and they build up, and they hold you back, and you have to release. And confession is a way of releasing that negative energy. My belief is that you don't need the priest to do that. You don't need to go to the Catholic Church and do that. Now, I know that that might be controversial for some people, but my whole thing is having a direct connection to God. And that's the whole point of this portion of this program. And the faith portion is creating that direct connection with God, so you can speak to God directly and get the healing. So you're not waiting once a week. You're able to do it every single day. I go to church every single day within myself and with my interaction with God. And so part of that is this confession. It's like this, the release. Supplication. This involves asking God for help, guidance, or specific needs. This is like when you ask for wisdom, you ask for guidance, you're asking for strength, for courage, those sorts of things. You're asking maybe for a better relationship, or you're asking for help. That's what supplication is all about. Then you got gratitude. And gratitude is expressing thankfulness to God for his blessing and the good things in our lives. It's not just that, though. God already knows what you're grateful for. What you also need to be grateful for is the headache, for the flat tire, for those annoyances that we get in life, the things that we get all pissy about. Those are the things that you also need to have gratitude for. Because once you start having gratitude for the problems and challenges in your life, you just start to win all the time. You never lose. And so it's really, gratitude is the fundamental key aspect of having a positive mental mindset and understanding that even when you lose, you win, because you're either going to win or you're going to learn. And so no matter what, you just win, right? And so having that understanding and being thankful for that. And every time that I've gotten a headache, and I was grateful for the headache, believe it or not, or I didn't feel like doing the workout because I got a headache or something like that, right? Or I just didn't feel like it. Every time I just pushed through and did it anyways, usually the headache went away. By the end of the workout, by end of when I was too tired to get up, but I got up anyways in the morning time, and I did it anyways. Then I have the energy that I need for the rest of the day. And going through this morning routine has been a game changer, where it's like you wake up 3:40 a.m. or what equivalent to, if you work nights or something like that, whatever that is, you wake up earlier than what you normally would. So for me, it's a couple hours earlier than what I normally would. And I'm getting in my prayer and my workout at the same exact time. I'm setting the intention for the day. I'm thinking about the day. I'm thinking about the things that need to get done. And I'm doing that in a manner that I'm going to share with you here shortly. But getting back to the gratitude, it's about being grateful and thankful for all the good things that you have in your life, your home, your house, your children, your family, your wife, your spouse, your cars, all that stuff. That's all great. Your limbs, having your fingers and all that stuff, and your hands, and being grateful for all that stuff is really important. But it's also being grateful for the negative things, and I don't think that gets enough attention. Worship. So worship is a form of prayer that focuses on praising and adoring God for His greatness and majesty. It's really just looking at it's a form of gratitude, it's a form of thankfulness, but it's also surrender in some regard too, where you're going, wow, this is incredible. Like, our odds of being on this planet are basically zero. If knowing how many planets and stars and universes there are out there, and we are here for a reason. And so when you look at the big picture of things, it's just like, we shouldn't even be here, but we are for a reason. And so giving admiration, giving praise to that it's a beautiful thing. Intercession is praying on behalf of others, asking God to intervene and help them in their needs or challenges. This is when it's a selfless act, basically. You're praying for somebody else's benefit. You're praying because they need healing. You're praying because they're going through a struggle. You're praying for, giving people other strength. And when you do that in a group, if you do that and you have multiple people, it's a compounding effect. And so prayer is a very powerful thing. So remember, prayer is a personal and sacred practice that can bring peace, clarity, and strength to our lives. It is a way to deepen our connection with the divine and seek guidance on our spiritual path. So I'm on these next slides, I'm going to just go over them very slowly. I'm not going to read them, but I'm going to allow you to kind of just, if you want to pause this, you can. So I'll just do that real quick. That way you got this. So if you just want to pause the video and read these things, you can. But more or less, it's just going over what we're talking about. Now, this is actually getting into the body and mind state component. So this is the actual part of the routine. Okay, so you have the early wake up time. And I don't put the early wake up time in there because everybody's got a different time. But my suggestion is that you do as soon as you wake up, you're going for a walk, you're going to go to the gym or wherever it is. I suggest you do it somewhere where you can be alone though. So you can really, there's no distraction, and that's basically what it is. There's no distractions. And you can kind of get away, and it's more peaceful, and you can just really be alone with your thoughts and with God. And excuse me. So what that is my belief is that our bodies are made up of trillions of cells, which each with its own electrical charge. This means that we are essentially electromagnetic beings, and our thoughts and emotions can have a powerful effect on our physical state. By focusing on positive thoughts and emotions, we can help to maintain a healthy electromagnetic balance and promote overall well-being. Yeah, I mean that's basically what it is, but it's like it's also where Atana is basically. And my belief is that when you do the workout, you're charging yourself up, you're sweating, your state is changing, your physiology is changing. And so that's the whole point. And this is where I think that the church and today, is kind of missing this component. You need to move. You need to work. You will find God through work. And so it's just okay. You're gonna get in this state. So what I do is the Stairmaster for 45 minutes. And so you get on the treadmill, you go for a walk or whatever it is. And typically what I've seen is 45 minutes is a great amount of time, because it takes anywhere from about 20 to 30 minutes to even get into the right state. You have to get to get everything flowing, to get the sweat, going and all that stuff. And so it's an elevated, you're not doing a sprint or anything like that. You're doing at a steady state, but it's an elevated state that is allowing you to sweat, and you're getting a pump, you're flowing, you're getting your body flowing and everything like that. So it's not just it would be a brisk walk instead of just going for a trot down the street basically. And you're doing this in a fasted state. So you're doing this fasted, so you're not eating, you're waking up, and you're in a fasted state, so you're not going to eat before you go do this. But you are going to drink what I call salt water. And basically, well, I'll get into the details of what that is, but it's basically what I'm drinking is a mixture of electrolytes, amino acids, and creatine. Because after I get off the Stairmaster, I am also lifting weights afterwards. So I just do a weightlifting routine as well, which I'm not saying you have to do, but for me, it's that combination. There is a little bit of caffeine in what I'm doing too, so it's anywhere from 50 to 100 milligrams of caffeine that I'm drinking as well. But that's it. There's no other, it's not a lot of calories. It might be 20 calories or so, 20, 30 calories, but you're not eating a meal or anything like that. So you're in a fasted state, you're drinking electrolytes, amino acids, and some creatine. And you can drink salt water, which is literally like the liquid IV, the limits, the prime, that sort of thing. Or you can make your own. You can just put salt, Himalayan pink salt in your water. There's options there, so you can look into it. But that's what I'm sipping on, while I'm doing the workout. And then I'm also listening to music. So, and I'm not listening to, country music or rap or anything like that. I'm listening to instrumentals. I'm listening to beats. I'm listening to something that I can get into the flow state, but it's not distracting in the sense of there's lyrics or, I'm trying to sing along with that. It's really just so I can stay in steady state and flow. And it makes the cardio a little bit more not so draining, I guess, in some regard, to where you're just like sitting there, without doing anything or just thinking. It's just like it allows you to get into a flow state more. And so that's really it. And it's just being in a positive mental mindset, thinking optimistically, going back to the, never losing, basically. You can't, if you're not taking back steps in life, you cannot lose. You just continue to win. And especially when you get the guidance from God. So I'll just, if you wanted to stop the screen share or pause this, you can, and read these, but I'm not going to go over them real quick. Okay. And then some music, just instrumental music, and positive mental mindset. So it's just positive self-talk, growth mindset, gratitude, resilience, optimism. And then this component is listen. All right. So you're going through the workout. You're in it. You're following those steps that I just laid out. You have intention for your prayer. You're following through. It's like maybe you have a routine where you're going through and you go through. Okay, you're going through your confession. You're going through your supplication. You're going through your gratitude. You're going through your worship. You're going through your intercession. You just follow through with that during your workout, your routine, and you whatever that is, you're asking for that divine guidance from God that you can get. And you're going through that, and for me, it takes about 20-30 minutes or so before I start to get these epiphanies. And it's not like I hear God, like we're talking, like somebody's in the room with me and I can hear a voice or anything like that. And it comes up in the form of basically two ways for me. And it might be different for you, but it's really, it comes in the form of just an idea and an inspiration. Kind of aha, the epiphany, and that's how it shows up for me. And so is attention, like you got to have the intention and then the attention, being able to focus in and go, okay, well, what is being here? And that's what I'm going back to, like, just don't have any distractions. Go somewhere where there's no distractions. And then you're actively listening. You're paying attention. You're listening to the beat. You're listening to the music. You're drinking your water, your salt water. You're going through your prayer, and then you're listening. After you go through your prayer, you're listening. Okay, well, what is the message? What am I trying to receive here? And it can show up in the form of vision. So for me, it's kind of like I can get like a movie almost playing in my mind, where it's just like I get this vision of something, where it's just like, oh, um, I can see how my actions are impacting in this way, and I can kind of play out scenarios in my mind. And so, this is just how it works for me. So I'm just sharing what works for me, guys. I'm not sharing, everybody's going to be a little bit different, but I'm just sharing what works for me. And then the message received from God, when I receive the message, it's like trying to discern what that message is, like kind of just like, okay, translating it basically. Sometimes it's clear as day. For example, I asked God for talent at one point, and the message that I got back was, "You're already talented. You just need to apply it. You're not applying it, you stupid bitch." Sorry for cussing, but you're not applying the talents that you have. And so oftentimes it's just these realizations that you get where it's just like you're not even doing the things that you already are you're asking for. And so you already have those things. And so God loves it when you work, God loves it when you put in the work too. So you just have to listen to the message and really just kind of take away the meaning. And then taking action after praying with God. So faith without work is dead. So if you do all these things and then you take no action afterwards, you're doing nothing with the information. You're not applying it. Then that is where it's like you're kind of a disgrace in some regard. It's like it's wasted time. And so it's really just taking on the message and actually applying it. That's the most important thing. That's where everybody gets stuck too. Is most people have great advice, but they don't follow their own advice. So it's really just becoming more clear with that, getting the clarity, and then, okay, I know what I need to do. This is who I need to become to do it. You know, I need to become a different type of person. You can't be the same person who you are and expect to get different results. You have to make changes. And then you start to make those changes, and they're incremental, and it can take a long time. Or you can expedite it, you know, if you're extremely focused on it, and start making changes immediately and start to do the things that are going to serve God, number one, and God's will, and give you a better life, you know. So that's really it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you liked it, definitely share this with other people. Thanks.